You are watching number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean Paul Laek.
Together we are Raw Break. How's every single one of you, family? Welcome to another episode of our show, and we're going to be talking about the Go Home show for NXT War Games, and it's going to be a pretty, average show. A lot of new matches added to this show just to confirm advantages when it comes to the War Games matches. So we'll see how it went. A lot of new superstars are being introduced, more superstars. So I don't like that too much because again, it's way too much people are being introduced, and we're not even familiar yet with the ones that are being introduced previously. So we'll see what happens. But NXT, I think, is feeling more Vince McMahon, less Triple H, and I'm not excited for it. It's the first time. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and everybody who, was associated with the black and gold brand, whether you're a wrestler or somebody, behind the scenes, I feel like they're all either being fired or wanting to leave themselves. Scotty Too Hotty, after his release, he was a trainer. He said, I'm done. I don't give a shit about this anymore. I'm only here for the money, and I don't want to do that. And I think a lot of guys, are in that same situation. Johnny Gargano is another one, same thing. He signed a week extension to do this War Games match, but after that, he might be gone. So, yeah, NXT 2.0, maybe that's the reason why they're introducing all these guys, because they know all the old-timers, are going to be leaving or getting fired. Who knows? But no, I'm excited for some matches. Like you said, at War Games, some of the promos, some of the stuff is good, but for the most part, no. It's really, the only thing I want to see from this is just who wins some of these title matches to be like, okay, they're getting fired or they're out of here because
it's the first time I will say in TakeOver history that I have no excitement whatsoever for it.
Yeah, exactly. And you think War Games, it's no, there's no way. There's got to be at least one match, but it's
no,
really.
It's all bad. We're gonna go over through the car, everything. So thank you so very much. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and thank you for all the love and support that you give us every single time. Paul, this show started out with this is something that I know you don't like. It's just all the girls lined up together, both world teams, against each other. They start just beating them up. And then it turns out to be just a match. It was going to be the advantage for the women's War Games match. And that was Kaylee Ray going against Dakota Kai. I like this match. Kaylee Ray doesn't feel the same like NXT UK. I think in NXT UK she looked more protected, looked more dominant, and also her powers, her force, her character dominated way more. Here is just another, you say, she's unhinged, she's more crazy. Dakota Kai kind of tried to do her thing, but in the end, a pretty decent match. That's all I can say, in the end. And also the babyface team get the win. I don't know if that's gonna favor them, but they're gonna start with some kind of advantage in the War Games match.
Yeah, there was a couple, spots and sequences in this match I really like, because Kaylee Ray to me is great. When she did, I love her dive. She's such a talented wrestler, diving into Dakota Kai against the announce table. Dakota Kai got a good double foot stomp when Kaylee Ray was draped on the ropes, but to the outside. And, she hit the Gory Bomb, even though now they call it the KLR Bomb. I don't know what was wrong with Gory Bomb.
What the hell, right?
Yeah, it's probably because they're referencing another wrestler, somebody else who's not WWE made and owned. So they're like, nope, we have to change it. But, hey, I don't know. The match, I kind of thought the heels were going to win this one, to be honest. I thought they were really going to stack that deck. But, they decided to give the babyfaces the win. But, again, to me, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really matter which team would have won this. The excitement level doesn't go up, doesn't go down. It stays the absolute
very hard
same.
to get behind this.
And you didn't even see the heels. They were just they weren't even pissed. It's not like you saw them, beat up Dakota Kai like, you fucking bitch, we let you on our team. Now you didn't even win the match. It should have been something like that. It was just, and the baby faces are I don't know. Again, no excitement. Don't really care for this.
Very difficult to get behind this, but in the end, Kaylee Ray, she grabbed Dakota Kai's feet, the foot, and then she made him slam against the ladder, and that's how she got a little bit of advantage. Dakota Kai couldn't recover from that. She climbed, got the briefcase, so she got the advantage. Like you said, what is they gonna do having that advantage in the War Games match? To me, again, I'm not really happy that these girls, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that they're not qualified. I'm not saying they're not ready for this type of matches. But we only seen it a few weeks, and I don't know the quality the quality of the match with this type of girls. I'm just saying.
I'm a fan. I just wanted to make clear I'm a fan of a lot of these women involved in this War Games match. But again, I don't know if this is the match that they should be in, and I also don't think that just the booking has presented this well. If you would have maybe booked this better and everything, maybe I'll be a little more excited. Like last year's, I was a little bit more excited into it. The year before, and everything. But
2 years, the last 2 previous years have been really great. We had a lot of expectations. Io had a great, performance in that, and Raquel even that's how she started her more like a singles run and all of that. So we'll see what happens. But this is what the card we're going to see. Mandy Rose, Attraction and Dakota Kai. Toxic Attraction, Dakota Kai going against Cora Jade, Raquel, Io, and Kaylee Ray. We're going to see what happens out of that. But again, we're not really hopeful, but I don't know. We're going to see what happens because we have it here. Where there's going to be the review. Paul, the Girl Jump Veterans went from being one of the most dominant tag teams. We wanted them to be the main tag team in NXT, but unfortunately 2.0 came out and now they're trying to steal stuff. And Kushida and Hikuman, they're trying to avoid or protect them from stealing stuff. So what kind of where are the Grizzlion veterans are doing right now? What are they doing? It just seems to me so bad.
This is stupid, and I really feel bad for Kushida.
Yeah.
Because remember when he was Cruiserweight champ, he was cutting these promos, all this stuff. I forget what he said, if it was 13 years, or he won 13 titles in Japan, something like that. All this, it was a serious promo, and now they're right high and top. They're right let's be goofy because we're Japanese and that's all Vince knows.
Yeah, let's be exactly. That's a great comparison. Yeah.
So I mean, this to me, it sucks for everybody involved except Briggs and Jensen, because they're going to beat these two teams up and they're going to be the next top stars that nobody cares about except Vince.
Yeah, you're right. So that's just terrible. This is also even worse. Because in the end, the thing with Cameron Grimes, he has all the potential. We keep saying week by week by week. Every single week we say the same thing. We sound like a broken record because the guy has the talent. He has even the gimmick. He has the persona, the character. But if he's gonna be fighting Andrew Chase, a guy that fights in not even in a ring gear, this is just bad. I didn't care for this, but at least Cameron got took care of him really quick. So at least showing how fired up he is for War Games and all of that. Then we got to see Duke Hudson showing possible outcomes of this. But I'm thinking to myself, if it's her versus her, it's supposed to be he loses all the hair, right? So this one was out of the way. It's not gonna be the outcome. This one's even worse. So he went with this one.
The whole segment was just cringy. It was
stupid,
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke Hudson got some good lines in. I mean, but again, I'm not saying he's bad, but if you would have maybe presented him with just, I'm a wrestler, and that's the gimmick, and then that's it. Maybe this guy would be better, but this was bad. And then Cameron Grimes, I mean, he cut such a great promo. Then he comes out here, and to me, what he said kind of was counterproductive from what he said last week, because he just got made fun of, and he's just well, I'm gonna shave your head at War Games, and it's okay, but I'm
gonna shave your head bald. So like you said, it can be taken any other way. Easy.
No, it's just not it just wasn't a good promo. I mean, I feel Cameron Grimes at this point, he's so good, but a lot of these guys, like I said, Kushida as well, they got to be thinking, man, when can I get out of here?
Yeah, no, it has to be. No, at least they think that, and also they can be there has to be something else that I could be doing, but not this. It's why am I doing these things? Why am I being part of this when I could be part of something better? I mean, they probably are able to pitch ideas. I don't know if they have a voice over there, but unfortunately, it's not again.
I would say nobody does. When you see top stars getting fired, I would say nobody has a voice.
Well, it's true. Or at least you have it, but then they cut it from the root. So let's go with Edris Enofi. He's gonna be debuting tonight. So again, another superstar. Nothing against debuting, but we see so many of them that it's really hard again to keep up. Just because. We just want to be used to some of them, and that takes time. And now one more person, so I don't know how to feel about this.
And yeah, I mean, good backstory on him too, and this and that. Okay, Oh, he's going to beat up a jobber, right? No, he's going against Solo Sikoa. Oh, so he's
Yeah,
going to lose. So what
yeah.
the fuck is this? This is bad.
Exactly.
So,
Now we're going
no.
with that also, like the ways of booking that is like, oh yeah, we debuted him, but he's gonna like lose. So why should I care? Like you said, when you have the first impression is the most important, especially in the world of professional wrestling. Let's talk about 2.0, like the team that is gonna go against, the olders or like the old timers in
Yeah, well,
NXT.
they actually are calling them Team Black and Gold, which that I do think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because these are the guys. It's 2.0, right? This is the
Yeah.
team, and against the black and gold is like the other guys, like Ciampa, Gargano, and all of them. So like, they cut out a pretty good promo. Everybody. I think Carmelo was the weakest one out of all of them, just because like he started out, maybe he forgot his line or something, but he started out just a little bit, on the downside. But then, also Waller got the microphone. Also, like we got Bron Breakker. He's the one that like they're pushing him like to the moon, like Cameron will say, and he's rightfully so. Why? He does have a good ability on the mic. He does delivers the line. He has the physique, and all of that. So he was just saying that after this, we're gonna get the win, and after that, I'm coming for you, Ciampa. So the feud continues, and I don't think they're gonna stop until this guy is the NXT champion and the brand new face of NXT 2.0.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you on that with Bron Breakker. I mean, I don't care for Grayson Waller whatsoever. I think Tony D'Angelo is not bad. The gimmick is just stupid. Carmelo
Yes, I agree.
Hayes I like Hayes, but again, when he was him and what's his name, Trick, were dressed up as Tupac and chased around by zombies, that killed all their credibility for me. But I mean, I'm excited for this match just because I think the veterans are so good on the other team. They'd be, you call Pete Dunne a veteran, and he's probably the same age as almost all these guys on 2.0.
Yes.
But they're all so good on the black and gold team. So this is really the only one I'm intrigued to see, who wins, because I do think, part of me almost thinks that Team Black and Gold is going to win.
Probably, like you said, it depends, or maybe if they get the win, maybe
I think
Gargano
it'll come down
be...
to Ciampa and Breakker, and I think Ciampa will pin him there again. And then I think, Bron Breakker, next time they meet, he'll get that match. But again, I could really see them doing it where, Breakker pins Ciampa here. To be like, oh, that, really solidifies his next title.
And also, like, it's like, we'll say, oh, give me another chance for the title, and then that's when I become the NXT champion. It could be any other way. Could be like you said, black and gold wins, and then Gargano maybe enticed to like re-sign with them. We don't know. He might be already talking to Tony Khan. We'll never know. But this, we're gonna touch this like 2 seconds, because these two assholes, like they just keep having those stupid promos looking for people. Shouldn't they be wrestling? They're not a good comedic act. They're not comedians. They're not good. I don't know who they're trying to entertain, but whoever they're trying to,
that's the thing. That's another thing too. Is can we really blame them because they're being told what to do?
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's like no. I mean, they finally found, what is it, the guru or whatever the hell, the shaman. I think they finally got there. They're about to they open the door. The white light hits. End of segment. So I guess we gotta wait to see next week who the shaman is. But yeah, this is not good.
Yes, exactly. So let's go quick, with Legado del Fantasma. This is going to be like the #1 contender for the tag team championships, and we got to see Zion Quinn. He has like an affair or something, or he wants to bang Elektra Lopez. Why? How could you not? And Santos Escobar is like, it's not my girl. Don't be bullshit. I'm not going to do that. But then this is in between the match of Von Wagner and also like Kyle O'Reilly against the other members of Legado del Fantasma. This was decent. I was thinking that Legado del Fantasma was going to get the win, just because they're a more form, they have a history on NXT as a tag team, but of course they're going to do the baby faces. So Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly win, so they become #1 contenders. I think, and then it hit in my head, it's like, oh, babyface, heel Imperium, okay, whatever. And Kyle O'Reilly, if they win those titles, maybe he'll resign also. So, I don't know. It seems okay. Von Wagner, like, he's a decent wrestler, maybe needs more personality, but hey, this is what NXT should be doing, developing stars, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with everything you said about, the match and everything, especially with the thing I just want to touch on, which is most important, is, the way that they presented Gargano. We saw in the last segment, he came out, cut a serious promo. The crowd was behind him. He was making fun of Bron Breakker because Breakker was the one chosen. Him and Gargano are going to have the advantage ladder match. And you got to think, maybe if you weren't, now this was still under Triple H, the way and all that other bullshit, but maybe if you were presenting Johnny Gargano legit, how he was when he first split off from DIY and it was singles run, maybe if that was his whole stint in NXT, he would have signed that dotted line a while ago, because I think now WWE is slowly starting to worry about AEW. because
Oh
they're
yeah.
seeing, they don't have the joke wrestlers on anymore. They have the CM Punks and the Bryan Danielsons and all these guys, so they probably don't want them to go because they see, oh fuck, they're gonna get Kyle O'Reilly and they're gonna be like the Undisputed Era, like oh shit.
They're already teasing.
They
Remember?
see it. They see it coming, so they're trying to do everything under their power, keep these guys. And I think unless they offer them a boatload of money, more than Tony Khan will, they're not going to sign because they know that they're booking and they'll have more fun over in AEW.
And if you think about it, Paul, like these guys like Kyle O'Reilly going, it will be like you said, another like one of like the kind of the original members of that like golden era of NXT. So like that will be really hurtful for them. So I agree with you. But this is the match that we're gonna have. This is also going to be interesting because if they take the titles away from Imperium, why you put the titles on them in the first place? And I really think that they're going to retain, and maybe Kyle O'Reilly soon is going to be joining Adam Cole and Bobby Fish. So we'll see what happens on that. But at least despite that, good match, and I think that like they did a good job. So we're going to be talking about Tiffany Stratton. She's going to be debuting. A lot of people didn't have a lot of faith in her just because, like, the promos were like they used the uses of the word "daddy." This one is funny because they don't want, they don't want to be portrayed or like perceived as like, kind of that type of language, too sexual and all of that. So they said that they were going to start cutting some of her promos, but in the end they aired this anyway, and she's going to be debuting. For the ones that want to see how she looks like or how she wrestles, they can watch 205 Live because she's been having some matches over there. But again, another person that is being introduced, and do I get behind this right away? No, because I don't know her. I don't know what she does, so I need to watch 2 more different shows just to see what she does.
What kind of gimmicks? What kind of gimmicks did Triple H present? Like the Rhea Ripley's, the Shayna Baszler's, the Bianca Belair. They were all athletes. They were all wrestlers. They were all fans of this. This girl is out here. Oh, my daddy buys me a car. Oh, he takes me shopping. He does.
And my dad.
And it's like I don't even care about the It's just the whole presentation. To me, like she, like when you see her, Alexa Bliss looks like fucking Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, this is again. It's the shit that really makes you go, you know what? I think I'm going to stick to Wednesday nights and Thursday afternoons.
It's a little better. And the fact that it's like we say that, like you said, because like maybe like a year ago we were actually thinking that this was like great, and then the other one was trash. But see how like a year or like some months in difference, yeah, they flip flop. Absolutely right. So we're gonna see what happens with this girl. I know they're gonna debut them. They probably will release her anytime soon. So we'll see. Hopefully they don't do that for the sake of the girl. But like Joe Gacy, he has an all-inclusive invitational. This was just his character is really difficult to like get behind, grasp. He has like this aura of like he wants to like reconcile everything and all of that. So he beat like 3 jobbers in Hangman Talent pretty much. And it's why he needed to look strong for the match that he's going to have with Roderick Strong at War Games. In the end, he got another promo with like the members of Diamond Mine. And I don't know how to feel about this. I just know that Roderick Strong is going to retain that championship. Joe Gacy is not becoming a cruiserweight champion because he doesn't even look like a cruiserweight.
Yeah, because they did say, and you saw that random 3 jobbers out there. It literally looked like you hit randomize and create a wrestler, and here's three guys. Yeah. Look at what the guy all the way on the end is wearing. The tall black guy. Look at that.
I thought it was Odyssey Jones.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way. But then I'm like, no, he doesn't have the beard, and Odyssey Jones is always like, yee. So I'm like, okay. But I mean, this is just such shit. And he's like, oh, get in the ring, young lady. And then even Beth Phoenix is like, well, ew, like what the hell's wrong with this guy? Why does he have to say it that way? And it's like, why is this guy even on my TV? That's a better question to ask.
Exactly.
And like they said, he's not even 205. He's over it. But Roderick Strong said he wants a good match at the pay-per-view. So why did you challenge somebody else?
Yeah. This
is another thing I really don't care.
No, like you said, like all the guys that like we actually went behind, they had their time. Like remember, like the roster was maybe a lot shorter, right? Would you say that they had like less people, but like they featured them better, maybe weekly and everything? So like, I don't know. This is just bad for me. I'm not behind this, and if Roderick Strong loses the title to this guy, I think we're ready to drop another show. I think we're ready to like cut more, like trim the fat in your own words, Paul, because this one it doesn't really interest me whatsoever. So let's go to the next segment, and this was like you said, like Sikoa. He was gonna have a match against, they debuted him on this guy, like Edris Enofi. So I mean, the match was okay. Like Sikoa, like is one of the Usos, so he's had, of course, a great showing. But like Boa interrupts everything. So Boa all of a sudden is in AM, like completely character drop, change. I don't know. This is just bad. And again, Sikoa is not being portrayed better. and he needs to be a killer force, right? And no,
he could definitely see, but that was the problem. He did look pretty dominant in all of his matches beforehand, but Inoue, they're trying to present him good, and so he wasn't going to get jobbed out. So it was a little bit competitive, which was completely counterproductive for both guys. The one guy debuted and lost. The other guy, who was looking like a badass, had a little bit of a struggle here, so nobody wins. Beforehand, Boa was like, and he's like, bro, what the fuck? I can't understand your language. And he's like, and he leaves. He's like, I can't help you. I have a match. So then you see he has the face paint on. He attacks him. I guess that's what they said. It's his newfound power from, whoever. Nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares. This is stupid. But I guess that's the next feud now. Boa versus Sikoa. So
yeah, exactly. So, and like you said, Sikoa has he's supposed to win. But Boa should win also because he's a brand new character. So
no.
Bo
is like a jobber.
Bo was dead from the moment that Raquel slammed him. Remember, like Raquel took care of him like months ago and stuff. But that's what we got in the show. Let's go to another Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta. This is just also terrible because weeks by weeks, and then Indy Hartwell still has the same face, the same gestures. Like, can you get back? Can you feel legit now? Like, it's been 2-3 weeks since like the thing happened with Loomis. So why are you still done? So they had a match against Yulisa Leon and Valentina Feroz. So this was quick, 1, 2, 3. They just get a match, they win it. They should be fighting for the tag team titles, right?
I mean, they did say that on commentary, and again, this is because, the hospital called where Loomis was in, and they're like, we can't find him, we don't know. And, you just think Loomis is a weird fuck. He probably got up and left. Like, I don't know why she's all, So then, again, Pirotta, the whole gimmick is, I can beat 2 women. Because they're trying to present her like a Rhea Ripley, a Raquel, like a big, but look, she don't even look any bigger than Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the whole pushing her like some Amazon powerhouse is, but, Indy's like, no, I'll help. But Pirotta was, I guess the quote unquote star, or looked the best in this match. And so they're really pushing her. But again, another thing nobody cares about. They try to sell it to you. They try to make you care, but what reason?
The efforts are, not being fruitful, are missing out completely because, like you said, it's not that makes sense. It's not organic how they're trying to get you to care. They're really good at trying to make you not care when it comes to those things. So another superstar, Draco Anthony, another guy that's going to be introduced. Is like, it's just way too many, and they already had other guys that like we don't see often. Like you said, like remember what happened with like the girl that had the talk show. So like all of those things, like it's just like it's so bad. And even like they've been asking.
Well, what did we say? These people, see, they don't care. They don't care that they film these vignettes and that they promote these guys because they're signed to what, 30 days, 60 days? Maybe Draco Anthony sucks. Maybe Inoue sucks. Goodbye.
Yeah.
They don't care. Maybe that new girl, Daddy's little bitch, maybe she gets cut. Goodbye. Maybe they don't care, but know what you should do? You should have these guys wrestling in dark matches or have them wrestling in the performance center, and then you decide if they're good enough. Don't present them on TV when they're awful.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Because again, they get and they can only say, "Oh yeah, just had a vignette on WWE. I'm good." Okay, and it doesn't mean anything. No. Is that the Impact worth? Is that like an NWA worth? I don't know. It's just bad. And like you said, the main thing right here is like their own wrestlers, their own talent don't have faith in the company. They know they're working, in like eggshells. That's what like the main thing I feel that every single one of these wrestlers feel.
It's like you have this passion for your job, but your job locks it up in a cage and says, no, you can't express yourself. You need to just read what we give you.
Yes.
How can you be into that? You can't.
Yes.
You're just.
Over the time they're gonna give you like they're gonna say like chicken shit for chicken salad, I guess. Yeah. But some of them are gonna be able to pull it off, but not every single one of them. But let's go to the main event, Paul. Bron Breakker going Johnny Gargano for the advantage the War Games match, and this is what happens. I mean, they did like good booking though, don't you think, Paul? Johnny Gargano look okay, but like Bron, of course, the tougher guy, way better or huge, So Johnny's gonna like have the disadvantage here, and Bron completely kick his ass.
Yeah, I mean, they really sold it good, though, because Johnny's always been able to come from behind. He's always been able to use his athleticism, speed, his grit, whatever. When he was Johnny Wrestling, when he was legit and everybody, loved him, wanted to see him be champ, this is channeling that again. And it's good, Bron Breakker was obviously way bigger, taller, stronger, all that stuff. But Johnny, again, it's the experience, but he hung in there. The only thing I really didn't like from this match, I mean, great spots, big release German suplex on the ladder. You see this. I mean, it's insane. It's like Spider-Man fighting the Incredible Hulk. It was great. The only thing I just
like
didn't
Toby
like,
fighting Randy.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I just didn't like, Bonesaw is ready. I just didn't like when at the end when he knocks him off the ladder and Breakker no-sells it and just, if that would have been like 5 minutes into the match, I could be like, okay, whatever. But after all the, things that these guys were through, for him to just no-sell it like that and go up, and I would have rather had him when they were fighting on the ladder like that. He just takes him off. But I mean, I did like though when he did hit his big finish, which essentially that's he hit his big slam. Like,
I mean, catches it and then the power slam.
Yeah, I mean that was great doing that from the ladder and everything. So this is the one I'm excited for. But it's really only a handful of guys. All the guys on NXT Black and Gold are legit. Just Breakker and Hayes. I mean, I like them, so I'm excited to see how this one turns out. The rest of the card, not so much.
It's very weird, and also of course it has to end up in like a beatdown. Like everybody going at each other. Didn't they do that last week? Same ending. I don't like that at all. And like you said, hopefully they deliver something like a good quality match. I have a lot of doubt again because these guys are not meant to do these things. We haven't seen them. At least we had a little more faith in the Undisputed Era because they were a team. They were introduced
and before we close, I just want to ask your opinion. Who is the baby face and who is the heel? 2.0 or black? Who's the heel?
For me, the baby faces are like Black and Gold.
Yeah, but exactly. So I would say, and that's 99% of the fans think that way. But the way now, put yourself in Vince's shoes, booking this.
It should be like at 2.0.
Yeah, well, but is that how you think he sees it? Or because to me, there's no way. There's no way that they. I feel like it's like a mix. Like, some of the guys are heel, some of the guys are babyface. But I feel like if you're just going overall by Team Black and Gold is the babyface.
Oh yeah, well they have to me like they are because again it's like a battle of the old against the new. It's like the old want to say, well, we put this on the map. It's like when you kids are not gonna come and try to steal everything from us. So that makes you the baby face. But Breakker is the biggest baby face that 2.0 has. So it's really difficult. But in the end, I think that it's probably. I'm more worried about the quality of both of the War Games matches because everybody, the talented involved in this, I don't know if they have enough quality to pull this off.
Yeah, or we see, I mean, maybe some of it because it's a lot of toys, not just ladders in this. And we saw what Breakker was doing with the ladder around his neck, suplexing guys onto ladders. He's going to want to one-up that on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
So the only thing with that is, with the NXT, and I'm not going to just single him out. It's all the guys on 2.0, but they're inexperienced. Are they going to hurt themselves or hurt somebody else? All the guys on Black and Gold keep saying you're inexperienced. That's not like a work. That's a shoot.
Well, exactly. So it's like if they say it is because they know that how inexperienced they are. So in the women's match, it's even more. The only 3 that had experience on that is you could say 4 with Dakota Kai. You would say Shirai. You will say also Raquel and also Kaylee Ray, but that's it. But the other 4 are inexperienced on that. Okay, Mandy Rose has experience. No, it does. No, she doesn't. So a lot of questions, a lot of concerns during those 2 matches. So we'll see what happens. But thank you so very much to every single one of you for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, give the video a like, so a lot of people, more of you, are exposed to our product. And where else can they find us, Paul?
Hey guys, make sure you follow us on all of our social media. Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and we're also now on Spotify. Follow us there. And of course, right here, the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...